Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very special video for you guys today. We're not doing a pick a card, but instead I'm going to introduce you guys to my brand new summer themed oracle deck, Spicy Summer. And yes, it really is huge. I mean, it kind of looks like a book right now as I hold it up into the view of the camera, but that's okay. You know, go big or go home this summer, right? So this video is basically your digital tutorial, I guess you could say, to this particular deck. It's your digital guidebook. So I'm just going to walk through every card in this deck and basically introduce it to you, clarify any questions that could be in regards to any of the cards. Even though I feel the deck is pretty easy to understand, it's pretty basic. I feel like anyone, beginning level reader, advanced level, everything in between can probably understand this pretty easy. And obviously I'm going to address the largeness of this deck. So I'm just going to dive into all of that. And at the end, after I'm done introducing this deck to you guys, I'm going to do a general reading for the collective, basically tapping into the energy of what's going to be happening this summer, since this is a summer themed oracle deck. So if you want to jump straight into that reading and you don't care about the details of the deck, I mean, that's totally fine. I won't be offended. But you can jump to the timestamp down below in the description box and you can dive straight into the collective reading for what's happening this summer if you desire to do so. Otherwise, if you want to stick around, I'm going to get into this amazingly larger than life deck. Before I do, though, I just want to ask you guys really quickly to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. Also, if I wind up resonating with you as a reader, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe at this time and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new video is posted, anytime I'm live, just, any new fun and wonderful updates, you will be the first in the know, obviously. And also, don't be shy. Feel free to say hi. Drop me a comment down below in the comment section. This is social media after all, so let's be social and let's hang out. And if I really, really wind up resonating with you as a reader, I also invite you guys to check out my website, shadowandshine.com. It's basically your one-stop shop for everything. So if you're interested in a personal reading, because always remember, the readings that are here on YouTube, they are general readings. They are open for the collective. So it is tapping into a wide range of energy. But if you want to tap in directly and specifically for yourself individually, getting a personal reading is the best possible way to do that. So you can check that out over on my website. And if you're interested in purchasing, I'm not even picking up all the cards. If you're interested in purchasing this monster of a deck, this is also available on shadowandshine.com, as well as my other oracle decks. I have other ones as well, other ones that are a little bit less big, a little bit more normal in size, but I have several over there, so you're welcome to check them all out, whatever interests you. So basically head on over there for anything and everything that you need to know about. Also, you guys, one other thing before I jump into all of this, one other thing is I want to invite you guys over to my Patreon as well. So Patreon, it's a really fun place. It's a really cool place to hang out. Basically, there's a lot of offerings there that don't happen here on YouTube or any of my other socials. So we do daily card pulls there. weekly card pulls, and this is just for the collective energy of the members who are actually in Patreon. So that's going to be a much smaller focused group of people than anything that's like free range, wide open to a whole bunch of people on the internet, because it is a private thing. Basically, it's exclusive. At least if you're behind the paywall. There is a free version of my Patreon, but those Patreon members, they do not get the daily card pulls. They do not get the weekly card pulls. There's a lot of perks that you don't get just being a free member. Although, of course, you are welcome to be one if you're just checking it out, if you just are nosy, curious, kind of want to get your feet wet before you actually make any kind of financial commitment. But even the financial commitment part, honestly, like I try to keep those rates extremely reasonable. My personal recommendation is that $5.55 tier, because at that level you get access to the Discord server, and that's basically the place to connect and to build community. And if you are seeking people who are your soul tribe, your soul family, like that's the place to be. We talk about all kinds of things there: tarot, astrology, twin flames, spirituality, everything, anything and everything, and even just like random, mundane, regular stuff too. So, so I would love to have you guys over there and invite you to check out my Patreon, and links to my Patreon, links to all of my other socials, and of course my website, shadowandshine.com. You can find all of that good stuff right down below in that description box. So feel free to check it out. And just browse around, nose around, and there you go. Have fun. Anyways, let's get into this deck, shall we? Let's get into the walkthrough. So before I start flipping out all the different cards, let's address the elephant. Let's address the elephant in the room, quite literally, the very large elephant in the room, and the fact that this deck is ginormous. I admit that. So basically, when I order and I create my Oracle decks, there's like a variety of different sizes and shapes and all kinds of different stuff that you can choose to customize it. And for my summer deck, I did want to do something a little bit different, because I've basically chosen the traditional tarot size for all of my other decks, which is fine and great and wonderful. I'll just kind of show you size by size comparison so you can see size-wise exactly how big this thing is. It's Big Daddy. It's a Big Daddy deck. Okay. So this is one of my other Oracle decks in my feels. This one comes in a tin container. This one does not, because it is so huge, obviously. But if we take out in my feels, here is, let's see if I can do this. Here is in my feels, that's its size. Here is Spicy Summer. So this gives you an idea of the size comparison between the two. I mean, this is huge. It's huge, like just look at that. Look at that. That's huge. It's monstrous. So yeah, it's big. It's big. It's the biggest one. It's literally giant size. That's what they call it. It is giant size. So without a doubt, this is the biggest deck in terms of size that I have. It is probably the only one that is going to be this size, just because, I mean, it's fun and it's unique, obviously, but I'm not going to lie, it is a little bit challenging when it comes to shuffling the deck. And because it is a little challenging when it comes to shuffling, this is probably the only one, Spicy Summer, that will be of this size, is what it comes down to. So if you notice, it's so big, I can't even grasp it from a horizontal direction. So when I shuffle it, I have to do it vertically, like this. And even that is pretty messy. So I have to shuffle it vertically. So just so you know, if you do decide to purchase this deck, and if you're trying to figure out how to shuffle it, you're going to have to do it vertically. I mean, I don't usually shuffle it from my left hand, but I'll try and show you. So yeah, you have to shuffle it vertically like this, because horizontal, it's not going to happen. Also, the material for this card, or this deck is a little bit different from my other decks. All of my other decks I always do in a linen finish, and this one is just the standard smooth. It's the regular standard smooth. It's still good quality and everything. It's not as strong as the linen finished cards that I have for all the other decks, like the one that I showed you in my feels. That one is linen finish. Like I said, all the other ones are. So this one is just a smooth finish. And the reason why I did a smooth finish on it as opposed to the linen finish is honestly, it would have cost me a lot more money to produce them with a linen finish as opposed to the smooth finish. And whatever winds up costing me is ultimately going to wind up costing you guys, because you guys are the ones who are going to be purchasing it. And obviously, I don't want you guys to have to spend more money than you already are on this deck. So that's why I just went with the smooth finish instead of the linen finish that I've done before in the past. So if you're wondering the difference there in terms of the material, that would be why. Also, because once again, of quite literally the size of this deck, this one is the most expensive one out of all the ones that I have. Like this deck in particular is 60 cards, and some of the other ones that I have in my feels, my holiday deck, A Magical Christmas, Fallin For You, the fall deck, Love Story, all of those are 77 cards. So there are more cards in those decks, and they're smaller, and they come in the tin, and they're technically cheaper than this one, simply because, like I said, of quite literally the size, because it is so large, so big. So I feel like whoever is going to want this deck is really going to have to love summer, because like I said, I was not expecting it to be like this huge, but now I understand at least why it wound up being so expensive as it was to create, simply because of the size. And that's why I'm saying this is probably the only deck that is going to be of this size, simply because of cost. And like I said, it is more challenging to shuffle. So I just want to be real with you guys when it comes to this deck. And usually I don't give all those details with my decks normally. I'm sorry, my dogs just lost their minds. They want to put their input in on this as well. Shadow, Tinkerbell, come on. Come over here. They have a bed underneath the desk. They chose to ignore it to bark at something. Who knows? But you know, that's what happens when you're recording and you're doing readings at home. At home, dogs will bark. Life is not perfect here. This is not a perfect production by far. Anyways, so as I was going to say though, you guys, I just wanted to be transparent about, I don't know if I would call them flaws necessarily, because it's still a good deck. It still works. It still has awesome messages and all that stuff. I wouldn't be selling it, obviously, if it didn't have those things, but it is different in comparison to the decks that I have cranked out before in the past. So yeah, like usually I wouldn't leave those disclaimers with the other ones because they are made a little bit differently and they are cheaper. This one is simply bigger and it's more expensive, and that's why I'm saying this will probably be the only deck of its kind. Any future ones coming like down the line after this deck, I may still experiment when it comes to sizes and stuff like that, but none of them will be giant size, that's for sure. None of them will be that. So enjoy the bigness and the boldness of summer. Now, with all that said, with all the disclaimers, I guess you could say, about just like how this deck is and how expensive it is and all that other kind of stuff, let's actually get into the messages. Let's get into the messages. Oh, and one other thing with how this deck comes, since it does not have a tin box that it comes in like the others, it comes in and basically like just a plastic wrapping is what it comes down to. So it doesn't have like an actual box or container it comes in. I'll show you guys what I keep this deck in specifically. I'm just getting up to grab the bag really quick. I used a crystal bag. So you know how a lot of crystals from, metaphysical stores and everything will come in bags kind of like this. So I just use this bag that I keep it in, and it does the job, and it works perfectly fine. So that would be my recommendation if you're looking for something to store it in. But use whatever works for you, right? Okay, so let's officially dive into all the cards. Are you okay? Tinkerbell was kind of coughing a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure she was okay. All right, so let's get into this. All right, our first card is Buzzkill Stung. So obviously this is implying, bees are out, bugs are out during the summertime in general, right? So, the bees, they're out there pollinating, and if you piss one off, you rub it the wrong way, it's going to sting you. So this is more so in reference to the fact that some event could transpire over the summer that basically is going to be kind of like a buzzkill. It's not going to be a fun thing. You might get stung. Not necessarily literally, although of course that's always possible, but that's more so from a metaphorical standpoint. Fun in the sun. So this card pretty much explains exactly what it is. Just, having fun in the sun, enjoying life, having a good time during the summer. Melted ice cream messes. So this is obviously never a fun thing to have happen when it is summertime. It's really hot, really sticky and humid and everything outside, and you've got this cold ice cream cone, and it just starts melting all over you. It's melting faster than you can keep up with licking it. This is exactly why I get a cup over a cone, although I do love cones, but when it's summer, not a good idea. But yeah, this is once again kind of a metaphorical thing. Of course, you could literally experience it too, but it's basically kind of like when life throws us those moments of meltdowns is what it comes down to. And it's like everything is kind of just melting down around us faster than we can keep up with, which is extremely frustrating. Bonfire bliss. So we have this couple here, and it looks like they're making a toast and they're sitting at a bonfire. Bonfires are, of course, very popular during the summertime. And this could basically just be in reference to, like a beautiful romantic moment, possibly by a bonfire during the summertime. I would say if not a romantic moment, it could just be referencing just having like a really good time attending a bonfire in general. So, once again, of course, take that as it resonates. Take it where it makes sense in conjunction to the other cards coming through in your reading, of course. We also have making lemonade out of lemons. So, we've all heard that expression before about making lemonade out of lemons. And that's basically like when life has thrown us some curveballs, some sour moments, and we're dealing with challenges and setbacks and stuff like that. And instead of us allowing ourselves to be bothered by those setbacks and to be greatly affected and impacted by those setbacks, instead we rise to the occasion and we take those stones that are thrown at us and we build a castle, basically. So it's that kind of energy. I hope you dogs are being good. I don't know what you're doing. I feel like I'm hearing chaos. Something, I don't know. Follow the signs. So we've got like this chalk drawing rainbow thing, and this is basically a reminder from Spirit when this comes through in a reading that you're being given signs. You're being given signs, synchronicities, hints, clues. Like the universe is speaking to you. The universe is talking to you. Maybe it's coming through as a rainbow. Maybe it's coming through as a chalk drawing, and it's just something that no one else would understand but you in Spirit, but it's still there and it's still coming through. So that's what this is in reference to, like all those little signs and synchronicities that inevitably wind up coming through. Would you please lay down and relax? I don't know what you're doing, Tinkerbell. Yeah, just lay down, please. It's distracting. Okay. This means war, water balloon fight. So, once again, take it as whichever flip side you want to. It could okay. Shadow wants to tell you what this card means, apparently. Shadow, stop. This means war. Anyways, so basically, like I said, this means war, water balloon fight. Like I said, it could be taken quite literally, like you actually having a water balloon fight or something over the summer, but this can also mean conflict. It can mean arguments. It can mean, being at odds and adversaries and that kind of thing during the summer. So, lots of metaphorical meanings happening here. Okay, we have several cards here in this deck that give you some crystals for summer. So if one of these cards appear in a reading, it's basically like Spirit's little reminder for you. It's basically Spirit's like little tip, like, hey, this is a crystal that might be helpful for you that you may need over the summer. So you have orange calcite. And orange calcite is connected to the sacral chakra. And the different attributes of it is it brings in creativity, energy, sexuality, and overcomes depression. So those are basically some of the attributes of it that you may need to pay attention to if that card comes through in a reading. All right, this one says, summer fling won't make it to the fall equinox. So that's just basically what it is. It's a summer fling card. It's saying that you may meet someone and that you may have some fun and have a good time over the summer, but chances are most likely it's not going to be a long-term committed thing. It's going to be more of just like a, hey, having fun and just having a good time kind of a thing. Ice cold AC. Now, obviously, the girl on this card looks pissed. And she is definitely, in the snowflakes there of the air conditioning. So this is more so about obviously someone giving you the cold shoulder, being cold towards you, someone who's not being very warm or fuzzy or affectionate or any of those kinds of things is what it comes down to. So that's what this card is about. Protect and prepare yourself. So on this card, we have a sun visor, we've got some sunscreen, a water bottle, sunglasses, and flip-flops. And all of those things are basically kind of like the essentials for summer. The sunscreen protects our skin from UV rays. The sunglasses, once again, keeps the UV rays out of our eyes. The sun visor also helps with that. The water keeps us hydrated. And the flip-flops, of course, protect our feet wherever we may be out and about doing things. So this is basically kind of a reminder that, yeah, you may need that reminder to wear sunscreen, but I feel like more so it is a reminder of, hey, like, protect yourself, establish boundaries, like, just be careful, watch your back kind of a thing. These cards are so big, we've already covered the whole space here, and we're not even halfway through. All right, summer fizzle. So obviously we have a match here that is going out, and this is basically in reference to, something fizzling out, something fading away, something ending. There's no longer that spark, there's no longer that fire, there's no longer that heat, is what it comes down to. Oh, I should have put it this way. Like I said, this deck is very big. Even I'm still getting used to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so huge. Okay, we have Cancer season. So we also have some of the zodiac signs in here, the zodiacs of the summer. Cancer is obviously one of those signs. And it basically tells you a little bit about Cancer season. So it says fourth house themes. And the fourth house themes are family, home life, and foundations. And the planet that Cancer is ruled by is the moon. So when this card comes through, it could be talking about like quite literally Cancer season. But if it's not Cancer season, or like let's say you're already past Cancer season, maybe it's Leo season and this card comes up, it could be talking about, once again, the qualities of that fourth house. It could be referencing something with like that family, home life, foundational kind of aspect. And Shadow agrees. Hey, quiet. No. Well, I guess it makes sense he barked because we have long dog days. So this is just, a card all about being tired, being exhausted, going through those long dog days, right? Just going through it, needing a break, needing a rest is what it comes down to. Tell them to go fly a kite. So this is the card that's kind of like Spirit's recommendation of like, like almost like telling them to like go F off in a sense. Like stop caring so much about what other people think. Do your own thing. Don't worry about it. Like don't worry about the opinions of other people kind of a thing. You just got to let it roll off their back, let them go fly their kite and go away from you in a sense. All right, we also have meet me at the pool. So once again, you could take this quite literally about meeting up at the pool or maybe even the beach. But it could also be just kind of referencing like gathering with people, meeting with people, just like meeting up, hanging out, socializing, that kind of thing. Summer Swan Love. So this is quite the opposite of that summer fling card because we have two swans here swimming together, and swans mate for life. They do. They mate for life. They've only got their one partner, and that's that. So it is a long-term love. Swans are currently associated with twin flames as well. So this could be referencing like a twin flame or soulmate connection for that matter, even. So quite the opposite of the summer fling card. This is something that is long term, something that will last well beyond the summer. All right, so then we have our summer holidays that come up. And one of them, of course, the most infamous one of the summer is 4th of July, 4th of July fun. So this is probably going to be referencing something happening over the 4th of July. Pretty clear and cut with that. Road tripping. So obviously summertime is the season of travel. People take road trips frequently because, there's not like snowstorms and stuff like that happening. So it could definitely be referencing quite literally taking a road trip. Or it could be referencing travel in general. So definitely that's kind of your travel card for this deck. Camping adventures. So we've got a group here with the guitar and they're hanging out by their tent, having some drinks, having a good time. So this is talking about just that, like campfire adventures. A lot of the times people have campfires and they go camping during the summertime as well. So it could be referencing a little camping adventure. Hiking and connecting with nature. So kind of piggybacking on that camping adventure card, even if you're not staying somewhere overnight in a cabin or in a tent or anything like that, this card is basically talking about getting out into nature, becoming one with nature, and hiking and stuff like that. This is definitely a card also kind of referencing grounding activities, because when we are out in nature, it's very peaceful, it's serene, it's like the way it should be, it's the way it's supposed to be. But it's a great time to just kind of get grounded, get rooted, and to kind of disconnect from the world to reconnect. So yeah, that's a great card. All right, another summertime holiday. We have Labor Day, and Labor Day usually signifies the end of summer. There's that infamous tradition of supposedly not wearing white after Labor Day. I never understood that. I think that's stupid. I personally feel like wear what you want when you want, like do what makes you happy. Like who cares about stupid trends like that? But yeah, so this card is basically kind of like the signal of the end of summer. So even if it's not referencing Labor Day specifically, it could just be referencing something about the end of summer, about summer being wrapped up. You having fun digging down there? Tinkerbell's like digging away in her bed. Okay, so this one is another one of the zodiac sign cards. We have Virgo season. And I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Virgo season, wouldn't that be the fall? No, it's not. Because Virgo season starts at the end of August and it goes until towards the end of September. And September, of course, kicks off Libra season. Now, Libra season is definitely fall. I would know because I'm a Libra myself. But Libra season, when Libra season starts, that's typically like around the first day of fall. Like the first day of fall itself technically doesn't start until like September 21st or whatever. All that time up until then is still summer, which means Virgo is still a summer zodiac sign. Technically, the 3 summer zodiac signs are Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. You would think, oh, but wait, Gemini, shouldn't Gemini be in there? But no, it is still technically spring until June 21st or whatever. June 21st kicks off Cancer season. So Gemini is technically a spring sign going along with Aries and Taurus. So that's to explain that, just in case anyone gets confused. It's like, wait a minute, Virgo's fall. No, it's not. Anyways, Virgo season, it talks about the sixth house themes. Apparently, I can't talk saying that. The planet that rules Virgo is Mercury, and the sixth house, I cannot seem to say that right, is all about pets, health, and work, like your day-to-day life kind of a stuff. So once again, when this card comes up, it could quite literally be referencing Virgo season, or it could be referencing those 6th house themes. Try saying that like 5 times as a tongue twister. That's just like really annoying. 6th house themes. Okay, anyways, moving on. Summer theater. So we have this gorgeous outdoor theater. Of course, it's empty in the picture, but a lot of the times there's like outdoor performances and special events like that happening during the summertime. So it could be referencing that. Or on the flip side, it could be representing somebody kind of like putting on a show, putting on a little act, putting on their own little theater towards you in a sense, or towards, whoever the reading is in reference to during the summer. Sprinkle the love. So we have a sprinkler, just, spraying all the water all over the place. And, that's kind of what this card is in reference of. But instead of water, sprinkle the love, share the love, expand and grow the love. Don't be stingy with the love. So, whether it's talking about you or somebody else in the reading, it's basically like a way of saying not to be selfish and to share the love. Share the love. Share the love. It's a good message. All right. We have not just sunburned. So we have this girl here who's obviously spent way too much time in the sun. She's very red. She definitely looks like she's in pain and suffering. She's crying. So this card, it could be referencing actual sunburn, but considering the card says not just sunburnt, it's more so referencing the fact that like you yourself could get burned over the summer or get burned into regards whatever the topic is, whatever the question is about with the reading. All right, Carnival Chaos. We have this roller coaster here, and I feel like this is open to interpretation in a lot of ways. Carnival Chaos could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. I think you kind of have to look at it the way you do like a roller coaster. Like some people love roller coasters and they enjoy them and they think they're fun. Other people hate them and are scared of them and don't like them at all. So I feel like it depends on the perspective of the person. So, it can definitely imply crazy times, but those crazy times could be good or bad, just kind of all in the eyes of the beholder in a sense. Look to the stars for guidance. So we have this person looking out the telescope and they're scoping things out in the sky. They're searching for answers is what it comes down to. So I feel like this card is basically a reminder of like, if you are seeking answers, like sometimes we can pull a whole bunch of cards in a deck, right? We can, shuffle our decks and get answers that way, or we can go to somebody and we can try to get a reading that way. And sometimes we'll still be left with unanswered questions. Unless you're Shadow, who has all the answers. Hey, little man, no breaks, please. Yeah, he's just putting in his 2 cents like he always does. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes we can be left with more questions than answers. Sometimes we can still have lots of confusion to have to sort through and work out. So in those situations, I feel like basically this card is Spirit's reminder to you to, don't stop seeking those answers. Don't stop looking for them. It may not necessarily come the way that you thought it would, but, not to give up is what it comes down to. Also, when I think of looking to the stars, I also think of like going to our higher power, God, Spirit, Source, however you want to put that to you. It could be going to our ancestors. It could be looking for guidance from loved ones on the other side who have already passed. But it's definitely looking for support from a very spiritual perspective, something that's definitely beyond us and beyond this physical realm. All right, we have another crystal card for summer. This one is aquamarine, which is connected to the throat chakra. Now, I like to call this particular crystal for this card, I like to call this one the 4 C's because every single one of its qualities start with a C. Communication, clarity, calming, and compassion. So when it comes to aquamarine, I feel like whether it is in regards to this deck, regards to summer, or any time at all, just when you think of aquamarine, think of those 4 C's, because that's pretty much what aquamarine does. All right, so the next one, we've got some crazy panicking emojis. It says, humidity isn't the only sticky situation. So obviously during the summertime, it's humid time. Depending on where you live, of course. If you live like on the East Coast or down south or in the Midwest, you're probably going to be experiencing some humidity. And I was born and raised in the Chicagoland area, so I definitely remember my fair share of very humid summers where it's like you would just walk outside and it felt like the air was liquid. It's like you were swimming outside and you were not in a pool. The air would be so heavy and so thick. And heaven forbid, if you have hair like mine that has even a tad amount of kink in it, your hair just like explodes into a big fro, is what it comes down to. I mean, those were days where I just wanted to shave my head. It felt so horrible. So yeah, like now I'm in Colorado. I've also been in California, and you know, both of those places are definitely a dry heat, which I appreciate much more. The only time I really felt more so humidity when I was living in LA is if you were like literally right on the beach, because then you could get some of like the moisture from the ocean coming off, but that was pretty much the extent of it. Nothing like Chicago though. So this could be referencing quite literally humidity, obviously, but once again, if we read between the lines and we go to more so of the metaphorical place with it, it's referencing, the humidity isn't the only sticky situation. So you could be dealing with a sticky situation, an uncomfortable situation in your life if this card comes through. Something that you're probably going to want to get out of just as much as you want to get out of humidity, like actual real humidity. Summer nights. Okay, we have this couple and they're just outside enjoying life, sharing a nice moment there and everything. So, it's good times. It's good times energy. It kind of reminds me of, the summer nights. So, like Grease. But yeah, it could be referencing that too. So yeah, just good times. Just good times hanging out during the summer. Summer school. Okay, so sometimes you got to go back to school and you got to raise a grade or do some extracurricular or something like that during the summer. So if this isn't referencing actual real summer school, this card, when it comes through in a reading, it can be referencing just having to learn something. More so like the school of life, the school of hard knocks. Like there's an experience that you're learning over the summer is what it comes down to. Spirit is taking you to class and teaching you something. All right, we've got our last zodiac sign coming through. We have Leo season. Now, Leo season is all about 5th house themes, and its ruling planet is the sun. Now, the 5th house is all about creativity, children, and fun. So when this card comes through, once again, it could be referencing Leo season itself, or it could be representing what Leo season is about, being children, creativity, and fun. All right, foundations of sand. So we have this gorgeous sandcastle, obviously, on a beautiful day at the beach, but don't be deceived by how pretty it is, because do you really think foundations of sand hold up very well? Most likely not. You don't want to build your house on sand. You want to build your house on rock, on something stable, on something firm. So if this card comes through in a reading, it's basically referencing whatever it is that you're building upon, it's not on solid ground. It's not stable. It's not sturdy, whether it's a money thing, a family thing, a relationship thing, whatever the thing is. It's basically telling you that it's not on stable ground. So, if it's not on stable ground, you need to get it on stable ground. All right, we've got our next crystal for summer, and we have sunstone, which makes perfect sense, obviously. Sunstone is connected to the sacral chakra, and it will help you with luck, good fortune. It is a natural antidepressant, and it brings in joy. So yes, that is definitely a wonderful crystal to have around at all times. But again, if it comes through in the reading, it's probably Spirit's way of reminding you, like, hey, you may need a little bit of sunstone in your life. Fruitful and plenty. So we have all these beautiful blooming flowers on this card, and they're blooming. They are fruitful and plenty. So this is kind of a card, signifying the fact that something is very bountiful, something is fruitful, something is fertile. It's in good shape. It's in good condition, whatever it is, whatever the thing in reference is about. All right, we've got another summer holiday. This one technically already passed us. We have Memorial Day, the beginning of summer. So Memorial Day does usually signify the beginning of summer for a lot of people. Usually right around that time, not long after, schools start getting out, graduations are happening, stuff like that. It's only like a matter of days or a week until June rolls around after Memorial Day. So, if it's not referencing Memorial Day itself, it is definitely referencing the beginning of something. All right, this one's definitely one of the more spicy cards of the deck. Let's make fireworks. So we have this couple with fireworks, and I'll let you basically decide what that means for yourself. I think we all know what that means when we're having sparks with somebody. You want to go off and set some fireworks off of your own together, is what it comes down to. All right, get creative, DIY it. So, out of the many different things you can do during the summer, sometimes it's fun to just get creative and get crafty and do something you've never done before. So that's basically what this card is in reference to. It's about getting creative, thinking outside the box, doing something you normally wouldn't do, and doing it yourself, doing it from scratch in a sense too. It's not like, oh, hey, I have this batch of dough that I bought from the store and I'm just going to pop it into the oven and make cookies. No, it's like literally taking that cookie from scratch with the milk and the butter and the eggs and the sugar and, everything else that goes into it. Flip-flopping back and forth, can't decide. And fun fact, the flip-flops on this card are actually mine. The more you know. Anyways, true story though. So flip-flopping back and forth, can't decide. This is very much like Libra energy. I know Libra does not happen during summertime, but speaking as someone who has very heavy Libra placements, we are basically known for not being able to make any decisions. And that's what this card is referencing. You could be at a crossroad when this card comes through in a reading. You're trying to make a decision, but you can't decide. This is usually someone who can see both sides of the story, both sides of the equation, all the different potential outcomes, and they can usually weigh the pros and cons very well And that's what makes it so hard for them to decide, because they can see the positives and they can see the negatives, and it's just like, how do I decide what this, is what it comes down to. So yeah, that's definitely someone who is struggling to make a decision. Believe in the magic of summer. So this is a fun card. Also, the mermaid, fun fact in this card, there is a mermaid tier in my Patreon community, just so you know. She looks exactly like this. But aside from that, though, believing in the magic of summer is just that. Summer is a magical time all on its own. The days are long and it's light until like 9 p.m. You see fireflies, and that's when like first summer loves happen, and adventures on special vacations, and all kinds of like precious memories are usually formed and happen during summer. So regardless of what those magical moments are for you and what they mean to you, that's what this card is all about. It's all about just like remembering those magical moments and embracing them, and setting intentions for them, and just tapping into that magical energy. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing. All right, what do we have next here? Summer job. Work, work, work. So we have this computer here, and someone's just working on their laptop even though they are at the beach. So that's basically what this is referencing. It's about working through the summer. Whether you're lucky enough to sit with your laptop at the beach or you have to do something else, but it's definitely about hustling, grinding, putting your nose to the grindstone, and just working and earning money is what it comes down to during the summer. Beach bum. Lazy days lounging without a care. It's basically just that, spending days at the beach, just chilling, relaxing, not stressing, kind of the opposite of the summer job card, obviously. That would be someone who's busy at work. The beach bum is someone who is not busy at work. Slippery slope. So you guys remember these, like those little slip and slide things? Anyways, yeah, so slippery slope is basically referencing like spirits kind of giving you a heads up, like kind of a warning here. It's like, do you really want to go there? Do you really want to take that risk, make that choice, get involved with that person? Is that really a wise idea? Because you could be headed up a slippery slope and you could fall down, go boom, and hurt yourself. So it's kind of like a heads up warning card in a sense. All right. Summer sizzle. So I know like way earlier we had summer fizzle that came through, which was all about things being extinguished, things going out, basically. But this is about things heating up, things getting started, things reaching its boiling point. So once again, take that where it resonates in conjunction to the reading, the surrounding cards, what the question is about, obviously, but it's definitely about things heating up, things starting, things beginning. Feeling crafty at fairs. So, these like little craft fair things and everything, they pop up all over the place during the summertime. Outdoor vendors and that kind of thing, people selling products that they've made. It's like the outdoor version of Etsy is the best way I can describe it. Where I'm from in the Chicagoland area, right around Labor Day weekend, there's this huge thing, a Septemberfest in one of the suburbs, and they have a whole ton of like all these like little art fair tents set up and everything. So it always makes me think of that. But it could be referencing that you may be attending some of those. Maybe you're going to be selling something at one of those. And once again, I feel like this definitely kind of taps into that similar energy as the Get Creative DIY card, where it's like asking you to be a little crafty this summer. Festival season. Obviously, summertime is just that. It's festival season. It actually kind of starts in spring with Coachella, but it really kind of carries, all summer long. You got Lollapalooza and a whole bunch of other stuff that happens. It's concert season is what it comes down to. So it could be referencing you going to go see a concert, or just, anything revolving around concerts, music, performance. Volunteer, reach out and give back. So summertime is a great time to do just that. It's a great time to volunteer. Obviously, we have this guy here who is volunteering by walking dogs and taking care of dogs. I think that's a great way to give back, of course, is like, volunteering at your local shelter. But it doesn't have to be with dogs. It doesn't have to be at a local shelter. That's just the example in the card, obviously. But summertime is a great time to give back. It's a great time to get involved. It's a great time to volunteer. My personal recommendation, if you're going to do something like that, is do something that interests you. Do something that you're passionate about in terms of giving back to your community. Family barbecue. So we have this huge group of people. They're surrounding this table full of food. Barbecues obviously happen all summer long. So this is kind of a card referencing all about just that, fun-filled gatherings with other people. Fun and games. And we have these kids. They're in these potato sacks and they're just running amok, so fun and games. Once again, this could be a positive thing or a negative thing. Once again, kind of depending on the question, depending on the surrounding cards, of course. It could be quite literally just what it is at face value, like actually just having fun, like these kids here. Or on the flip side, on maybe a more sinister note, it could be someone who is playing fun and games with you. Of course, I would not hope that that would be the result for you, but again, depends on the context of the reading. Lick my popsicle. Again, I'll just leave this right here for what it is, because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty sure we all know we're not talking about regular popsicles here. Not talking about regular popsicles. Something a little bit more spicy than that. Inspire, light up the room like a firefly. So obviously summertime is firefly season. They're just out there lighting up the sky with their little glowing butts and everything and being so cute. But they are like this beautiful glowing light in a night sky. And the world can feel like that night sky at times, where it's just dark and can sometimes feel hopeless, and just with like loss and confusion and all those kinds of things. But the truth is, at the end of the day, we all have gifts and talents and abilities that we bring into the world, where we can light up the sky, where we can make the difference for not only ourselves, but for others as well. We are here to make the world a better place. And that's what this card is kind of a reminder of, that you too can be just like that firefly and bring a little love, light, hope, and inspiration to others. And you can especially do that if someone is having a bummer summer. So we have this kid who's sitting on a bench and he looks upset and he's not having a good day. And he's having a bummer of a summer. So this card is basically just in reference to that, like just having a rough summer, having a rough time of it, for whatever the reason may be. Another crystal for summer, we have tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is connected to the solar plexus. It brings us protection, balance, courage, and confidence. Such a good crystal to have. So once again, if that appears in a reading, it could be something that you may need to carry or wear, to just, have on your being during summertime. Stormy weather. So again, during the summertime, this is something else that we experience quite a bit. During the summer is stormy weather. There's thunderstorms, there's tornadoes, there's hail, there's all kinds of crazy weather that happens. So yeah, that's basically what this is in reference to. And if we're not talking about literal weather, it could be definitely referencing like the tornadoes of life that we go through emotionally, mentally, physically, all that kind of stuff. So if this card comes through, it definitely is probably an indication of challenges and difficulties. The scavenger hunt, to find answers you seek. So we have this group of people here. They're going on a scavenger hunt. Now, I know way earlier we had the look to the stars for guidance card, which was more so about looking towards our higher power, looking towards our ancestors, that kind of thing. This card, it's similar in terms of the seeking answers part, but it differs in the fact that this time we're not going it alone, and we're not just like looking for that help from our higher power, but we're seeking that help together with a group, that this is a group effort, that we have support and encouragement surrounding us, that we have people cheering us on and rooting us on, and that that there are other people who are trying to help us and guide us along the way. It's more of a group effort kind of thing. So similar energy, almost kind of like a different kind of source as to how we're handling it. Then we have the back and forth card, communication, volleying back and forth. So obviously we have these people playing volleyball, and the volleyball is basically an analogy for communicating with someone. You could be volleying back and forth with emails, with texts, with phone calls, whatever that form of communication is. But this is definitely a card all about communication. Shadow, that's enough. We're almost through. All right, garage sale glory. So another popular thing to do during the summertime is to host garage sales, yard sales, stuff like that. So with this card coming through, it's basically, if you're not like quite literally doing this, like selling stuff, getting rid of stuff, it's basically Spirit's way of reminding you in a reading that there may be not physical items that you need to part with and that no longer serve you, that you need to step away from. It could be negative mindsets. It could be a job that you need to leave. It could be a relationship, but it's definitely a card all about implying the notion of moving on, releasing things that we no longer need anymore. And our final card from Spicy Summer is moving season, because summertime is typically moving season. With the weather being nice and warm, that's when people move. I know for myself personally, that's the time of year that I have definitely spent the most time moving in. I've always moved during like the warmer months. I've never moved during the colder months. And it doesn't matter whether your move is 2 miles away or 2,000 miles away. Moving is stressful and it takes time and a lot of planning and arranging and packing and unpacking and all this other stuff. So basically with this card coming through, it could be implying quite literally a physical move, but if you're not actually physically moving during the summer, I feel like this is more so an internal thing. Very similar to the garage sale card. It's all about like kind of moving on once again. It's about moving on from one position in life and going into another is what it comes down to. So whether you're relocating physically or you're relocating more of a mentality perspective, that's pretty much what it's in reference to. But that is the entire deck, our big ass deck here. Those are all the cards. Those are all the cards for Spicy Summer. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight as to what you can expect from this deck, the messages, what they mean. Once again, if you like it and you enjoy it, this deck is available on shadowandshine.com as well as Etsy. Like I said, I know it's big. It's the only one that's going to be this size ever, but if you're interested in it, it can definitely be yours. So as promised, I am now going to jump into our collective reading using this deck, and I'm just going to pull a few cards here. This is going to be interesting because, like I said, it's a challenge shuffling this deck in a sense. But I'm going to go ahead and give us a shuffle, and I'm just setting the intention to be what we need to know this summer. What the collective needs to know the most at this time for the summertime. Now, because this deck is so big, the cards don't necessarily fall out as easily as they normally do. So I'm just going to shuffle it a couple of times and then split the deck, basically. And we'll get some messages for you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and split the deck and see what you guys get. Oh, you guys got the garage sale. All right, so I was literally just talking about that card. That was like one of the last ones that just came through. So with the garage sale coming through for you guys, I feel like it's definitely saying that this summer you could be just doing that. You could be moving on. You could be releasing and letting go of things that no longer serve you. It's a time to put those things up for sale and move on. It's time to let them go. They haven't served you guys in a while. Or, like I said, maybe you're actually going to host a garage sale. I've never put these cards in a card holder. Oh my gosh, these cards are so big, but it still fits. I have to be careful with it, but they still fit. I was like, I've never put one of these cards in here. Okay, let me just make sure I can position it well so you guys can still see them. All right, stay. It's like talking to a dog, actually. Oh, I think it's this little wand thing is in the way. That's the problem. Okay, there we go. I just had to move my little wand guy here. There, just put him there. He can hang out. All right. So we got the garage sale. Okay, what else do we know? Maybe we'll get some input on what it is we're releasing this summer. Just, whatever it is Spirit wants to share with us. And because this deck is so big, I can't even shuffle it as fast as I normally do. Usually I whip right through, but I need bigger hands for that. All right, let's see. What else do we need to know for this summer? All right, once again, I'm just going to split the deck because that's the easiest way to do it because of its size. All right, you guys got a crystal. You have a crystal here for summer. And you guys got Tiger's Eye. So Tiger's Eye, the solar plexus, protection, balance, courage, and confidence. Now, obviously, I don't believe that these are things that you're releasing in the summer. If anything, I feel like it's quite the opposite, that these are probably attributes that you need to embrace this summer. And once again, tiger's eye, very helpful. Maybe you just need to get some tiger's eye, you know, get like a little tiger's eye bracelet or something. And that may be very helpful to assist you this summer. Like right here, I have a little tiger's eye right here. This is a little tiger's eye, star. So he's pretty cute. He's just hanging out here. He's like, yes, I'm awesome. I can help you in all these areas. And I believe somewhere in my bedroom I have a tiger's eye bracelet. I'm not wearing it right now, but I believe I do have one. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else is going on? What else is happening for the collective this summer? Oh, okay, we have one that actually wants to fall out. I'm just going to let it fall out. If it wants to fall out, not being chaotic, we'll take it. Let's see what you guys got. Oh, I'm so glad this one came through for you guys. You got the Summer Swan Love. So, you know, this is the card that is all about, you know, a forever love, you know, a deep bond, a twin flame, a soulmate. This is definitely the type of love that is going to last beyond summer. So you could be someone who, this basically is probably just confirming the fact that you're most likely in a twin flame or soulmate connection. And, you know, maybe some of the things that you need to let go with the garage sale card, those are probably things that are not serving you and therefore are not helping you when it comes to this connection. And tiger's eye, the properties of the tiger's eye with protection, balance, courage, and confidence, these things are probably going to help you, if anything, within that connection. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else is going on for our summer fun people? Ah, see, look at this deck. It's getting all crazy and wild. Like I said, I apologize. This thing is so monstrous. I mean, it's kind of fun because it is so big. I'm like, yeah, it's unique. It's different, but I don't think I'm going to be doing another deck this size because it's a little bit much. But it's safe to say if you are someone who is visually impaired, you probably will not need to use your contacts or glasses when reading this deck. I do not have that issue. My vision is good, but for anyone who does have that issue. All right, let's split the deck again and see what we get here. All right, flip-flopping back and forth, can't decide. All right, so I feel like if anything, this may be how you have been feeling leading up to the summer. It's not unusual to like flip-flop and feel undecided and kind of struggle with the choices that we make, especially if we are in a twin flame type of situation. It's like one day we flip to, I love this person, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to work it out because they're worth it and we're worth it as a couple. And then there are other days you flop to, I can't stand this person's driving me crazy, like there's all these problems, I'm giving up, I'm not going to fix it or anything. So I feel like you've been doing that a lot leading up to this point. If anything, that flip-flopping behavior may be some of the stuff that you need to put up for sale at the garage sale this summer, basically. Because if you're constantly flip-flopping and if you're constantly going back and forth, you are sending out a mixed signal to not only your person, but to spirit and to everyone else, because people are never going to know what it is that you really want. And when you're constantly putting out that mixed signal, you're basically going to continue to go in a circle and you're never going to actually reach a destination that you want to go to. So you have to make up your mind. So I feel like Spirit may be kind of like nudging you here, saying like, hey, you know, it's time to make some decisions. If you're going to do this thing, you know, then do it. The flip-flopping is not helping, is what it comes down to. And I nearly dropped all the cards, but that's okay. All right. Let's see. What do we need to know next here? All right. Again, I am just going to split the deck. Meet me at the pool. All right, meet me at the pool. So you could possibly be meeting up even with your twin flame at the pool. If not, I feel like you are going to be hanging out with people and just like having a good time, you know, lounging at the pool, stuff like that. So there is going to be some socializing, some fun times, good times over the summer. All right, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know for the summer? All right, one more shuffle, and then I will go ahead and split the deck, unless something wants to jump out first. But let's see what we get. All right, split you again. And we have moving season. All right, moving season. So moving season is very similar to that garage sale energy there. So once again, I feel like you guys are at a time of transition, a time of change, definitely a time of moving on and moving on upwards. Like, I don't want you guys to just think of this as, oh, I'm just like getting rid of things, I'm just letting go of things, I'm just purging things. And while that's true, remember that, you know, it's like when you do shadow work and when you empty out a bunch of stuff, think of it as like cleaning your fridge. You're basically getting rid of everything that is spoiled and disgusting and has grown mold and that you can't use anymore, right? But once you get rid of all that stuff, you can't just leave your fridge sitting there empty. Like, you get no nourishment out of an empty fridge. You have to go out and buy fresh food and put that fresh food in your fridge. And that fresh food is like refilling yourself, basically. It's putting all the good stuff in there that needs to be in there. It's moving on upwards. It's not just moving on, but it's moving towards bigger and better things, bigger and better opportunities, bigger and better possibilities, maybe with this twin flame, because like I said, the twin flame card here came through for a reason. So I feel like much of this reading is probably in regards to love, is probably in regards to romance and what's happening there. But let's see if we can get anything else. Maybe get a couple more cards. I've been reading. Okay. I'm like, how long have I been on here for? Just over an hour. It's not bad. All right. Let's split the deck. See what you guys got. Ooh, 4th of July fun. Love that. So it seems like you guys may be up for some fun and good times over the 4th of July. It could be with friends. It could be with family. Could be with your summer swan love. You know, once again, take it where it resonates, but it does look like you have some good stuff to look forward to over the 4th of July. All right. Let me see about getting one more here before I wrap things up. And then we'll call it done, because we got a lot of stuff going on here already. What's the final message here? What's the final takeaway this group needs to know for summer? What's the final? Oh, okay. We got one that literally just decided to pop out, so we're going to take that one. Beach bum, the beach bum card. lazy days, lounging without a care. So, I mean, you may not be able to do this every day over the summer, as nice as that would be, but I feel like this card came through because Spirit is basically reminding you to like just take a break, take it easy. Life is stressful, and there's always going to be a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to take care of. Especially if like the moving part or the garage sale part is more than just metaphorical and it's like something you actually have to do. But I feel like this is basically Spirit reminding you to like take some time for you. Take some time to unwind, to relax, give yourself permission to be lazy this summer. We live in a hustle culture, is what it comes down to. We live in a society that rewards constant working and constant grind, go, 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 go. And of course, there is a time and there is a place to work. Being productive is a good thing, but we shouldn't like constantly be doing nothing but producing. We need to also take times to recharge, to unplug, and all those other good things. So make sure you're just keeping it balanced and getting in some of that time to be lazy. Like, it's okay. It's totally okay to be lazy every once in a while. So that's basically kind of like a little sneak peek as to what you guys may anticipate coming up this summer, which is very cool. And that's just like the little general reading from this. And I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and that you also enjoyed this walkthrough, kind of going through all the different cards. Like I said, this deck is astronomical in size. It is the only one that I'm going to be making of this size. Even if I do create other decks in the future that are different sizes than what I normally do, this one's not going to be happening on any other deck. It is a lot to handle, I'm not going to lie. But it's also really fun. The messages are fun. I hope you guys enjoy it regardless. I definitely enjoyed making it and, of course, bringing it here for you. So that's pretty much all you need to know about Spicy Summer. And, of course, I will be using it quite a bit here over the summer as I do more readings for you guys like usual. And you can, like I said, you can find this deck on shadowandshine.com, and you can also find it on Etsy. So either place it is available. And as I wrap things up here today with you guys, I would just ask you really quick to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It definitely means the world to me if you do, because it helps push this video out there in the YouTube algorithm. If you enjoy my content and you resonate with me as a reader, then I would ask you to go ahead and subscribe at this time and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up and is posted, or anytime I'm live, or any other update that you need to know of. And of course, drop me a comment down below. Feel free to say hi. Don't be shy. Let's do this social media thing here and actually be social. So yeah, all that good stuff. Once again, shadowandshine.com. You can find this deck. You can find personal readings if you're interested in a personal reading. And of course, you can find my other Oracle decks over there as well. And finally, as I wrap this up here with you guys today, I want to invite you one last time to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is just, it's awesome. It's a great community. There's daily card pulls there, weekly card pulls, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So you're missing out if you're not there. There's a great community on Discord if you're the $5 tier and up. So if you're looking for your soul family, your soul tribe, you're looking to connect with other people, that's the place to be. So yeah, I definitely want to invite you to check that out. And you can check it out for free if you want to, just to kind of get your feet wet and see what it's all about before making any kind of financial commitment. That's totally cool too. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for stopping on by and hanging out here with me today, checking out this Oracle deck here, and, listening to this little reading as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. So when it comes to summer, I hope that your summer is filled with so much fun and so many blessings and so much abundance, and that you can look back on summer 2024 as being like one of the best summers to go down in the history books for you. That is my wish that I am making here for you, that the summer's just awesome. So I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.